Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video that I've been putting off for so long, and that is series that I will not be continuing or finishing. I've been wanting to film this video for a long time now, but I've just been putting it off for so long because I keep telling myself, no, maybe I will complete these series. No, I want to give it another chance. Also, I wasn't sure if there were going to be books that I'd be starting, like new series that I was going to start that I may not want to finish, that I want to add to my list, and then eventually I just decided that I need to just sit down and film this video because I have enough to discuss, and then in the future, if I have more series that I decide that I'm going to DNF, then I am going to film another video, like maybe a part 2 or something. So as I said, today I'm going to be discussing book series that I won't be finishing and that I am DNFing. Also, these books are in no particular order. There isn't one series that I want to read less than another series. I just wrote them down when they came to me and when I was like going through Goodreads, so they're in no particular order. So first I have the Luck series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and this series I actually was enjoying, but I decided that I just wasn't going to finish this book series because it'd been so long since I had read the first two. I read Obsidian and I read Onyx, and I think I read those maybe like 3 years ago, and I just realized that there wasn't really anything just making me want to go back to the story. I was enjoying it, but it wasn't like spectacular to where I really wanted to invest my time and finish reading the other two. I think it was a series of 4 plus like a prequel or something. So there were a lot of books in the series, and I had only read 2 of them, and they're quite chunky books. So I just decided that I just was never going to finish the series. So I actually ended up unhauling this book series maybe about 2 months ago when I finally decided, okay, I will not be continuing on with this series. Next, I have the Magisterium series by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. So I read The Iron Trial as well, maybe like 2-3 years ago. I really enjoyed it. And I read the second book, The Copper Gauntlet, just I want to say maybe less than a year ago. And I really enjoyed The Iron Trial, and I was less impressed with The Copper Gauntlet. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is a series that is more middle grade, and I feel like if I were younger, I would enjoy it a lot more. So the series isn't bad, it's just not catching my interest like it would if I were a little bit younger. Next, I have Fallen by Lauren Kate. I read the first book, I want to say maybe 2 years ago, and it was okay. I think I ended up giving it like a 3 out of 5 stars, and once again, there wasn't anything spectacular about it. I did a book review on it, which I will leave linked down below. I did this a while ago, but yeah, there's just nothing in the story that was just making me want to come back to it. I listened to it on audiobook, and honestly, I probably, if I were physically reading, I don't think I would have finished it, but I did push through the audiobook, and once again, it wasn't bad. It's definitely something that is kind of up my alley. It's young adult fantasy. The plot was really interesting, but I was having trouble connecting with the characters, and I felt like we had no resolution towards the end of the book. I felt like nothing happened in that book. So I'm not going to be continuing on with the series, even though I do hear that it's a good series. It's just, I just didn't connect to the characters at all. Next, I have The Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. I'm not sure what the trilogy is called, but I won't be continuing on after Anna and the French Kiss. So the second book is Lola and the Boy Next Door, and then Isla and the Happily Ever After. So when I first read Anna and the French Kiss, I absolutely loved it. I read this really, really fast, and I did a book review on it, and I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it like maybe a 5 out of 5 stars or a 4.5 out of 5 stars or something, and I tried to reread it this year actually, or maybe last year. But recently I tried to reread it after I reread like Fangirl and Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda. I wanted to get back into a little bit of YA contemporary, since that's just not my go-to genre, and I hated it. It was awful. Like, rereading it again, I just realized how horrible the concept of the book is. I mean, the main character, the love interest has a girlfriend, and he kind of doesn't, yeah, he cheats on her. I'm pretty sure he cheats. I don't know. Anyways, I didn't think that this book ended up giving a good message in the end, and I didn't enjoy it. So I'm not going to be continuing on with the other two, and I didn't finish I did not complete my reread. I reread maybe just a third of it, and I was just so annoyed with the characters that, yeah, I'm not going to be continuing on with this series. Even though it's not technically a series, the other two are just more like companion novels, I won't be continuing on. Next, I have The Last Apprentice by Joseph Delaney, and I enjoyed it, but it was just so long ago. I think I read this book before I started BookTube or when I was starting BookTube, and it's just been way too long. And I think, once again, I think this might be a middle grade book series, and there are a lot of books in the series. I want to say there's like 13, 14 books or something like that. Once again, it wasn't bad. I just read it so long ago that I am definitely not going to be continuing on with this series. Next, I have Hexhall by Rachel Hawkins, and I really enjoyed this book. And I have also read a little bit of the second book, but once again, I read this book so long ago. If I were to continue on with the series, I would have to reread Hexhall, which, I mean, is really short, so I definitely could do it, but I have so many other books that I really want to read that I don't think I will want to reread this one to finish the series. So I think this is just going to be another book series that I'm just going to have to put down and just realize that I won't be continuing on. But if you enjoy like school type settings with witches and vampires and shapeshifters and fairies and stuff, that's kind of what this book is about. And so the concept is definitely right up my alley, but I don't think I will continue on just because I read this way too long ago. The next series is the House of Night series by Kristen Cast and PC Cast. I started reading it in high school, and I think I got up to book 4 or 5, and this is another one where there are numerous books in the series, but towards the 4th or the 5th one, I was just getting so annoyed with the characters. I was getting really annoyed with the plot. Just the whole thing was drama. I felt like there was just no substance to the story anymore. It was just drama. Yeah, I didn't like that, so I ended up not continuing on with the series. And once again, I read this book series so long ago. I think I stopped reading the 5th one like maybe my senior year in high school, going into maybe my freshman year in college. So yeah, this is definitely another series that I won't be continuing. One, because I don't want to, because I think it would really annoy me, and 2, because it's been way too long. The next series, this is going to be an unpopular one. I'm so sorry, but that is Divergent by Veronica Roth. Now, I absolutely loved Divergent. I enjoyed Insurgent, but unfortunately, I was spoiled for Allegiant. And I don't like the spoiler. I was spoiled for the very end. And if you've read Allegiant, you know what kind of spoiler that is. So I can't bring myself to pick up Allegiant and finish that book series because I already know what's going to happen. And it's too big of a spoiler to overlook to read the book, unfortunately. Not to mention, I have just been really not into dystopian lately, so that's another reason why I probably won't finish it, or I won't finish it, not probably, I will not be finishing it. I kind of wish I hadn't been spoiled because I would have finished it. If I hadn't been spoiled, I would have finished the series. I can't overlook that spoiler, unfortunately. Next, I have Scythe by Neil Shusterman. This is another unpopular. I like this book. Oh my goodness. And not because it was bad, just because I can't handle dystopian right now. It's just not for me at this point. I'm getting so annoyed with dystopian, and I think that's why I didn't like this book, and I couldn't connect to the characters, and the plot was really interesting, but I just feel like it maybe wasn't well executed. I don't know. I really didn't like it. But once again, it wasn't bad. Like, I feel like you could have taken the same plot and someone else have written it and I still would enjoy it. Like, it has nothing to do with the author or the book. Like, objectively, it's well written. It's just I couldn't connect to the story. So I will not be continuing on. Yeah. Next, I have the Immortal series by Alison Noel, and this is another one where I read a long time ago, and there just wasn't anything spectacular about the plot. I think it was like another vampire type plot. It came out around the time of Twilight and like the House of Night and like Vampire Academy, and I think this is another one that just wasn't super spectacular. I can't really remember what the series is about, to be honest, and yeah, I just won't be continuing on. And the last series I want to talk about is the Sookie Stackhouse series by Charlene Harris. I really enjoyed this book series when I started it back in like college, back when True Blood was starting on HBO. I absolutely loved that show. So I think I had watched the first episode of True Blood, and then I learned that it was based on the Charlene Harris book series. So I started reading the book series, but it's just so similar to True Blood that I just decided to put down the series and just watch True Blood. And I know that they're not like identical. I have a feeling it varies, kind of like Game of Thrones. I haven't read the Game of Thrones books, but I hear that it kind of like the show kind of takes on its own. So I have a feeling True Blood ended up taking on like its own story versus the actual like series by Charlene Harris. But the first couple books is like almost identical to the first season. So I just decided that I prefer to watch the show than read the series, but it is a fantastic series. So if you haven't seen True Blood, or if you have seen True Blood and you really enjoyed it and you're okay with reading the book after you've already seen the TV show, then I do highly recommend it because it is fantastic. I have trouble going back and forth. Like, once I don't have trouble going from the book to the movie, but once I've seen the movie, I have trouble going to the book for some reason. It is really good though if you are interested in like vampires and like supernatural and werewolves. It's adult and it's really good. Alright guys, those are pretty much all the book series that I know I will not be continuing on. There are other books that I am 50-50 on right now that I'm not sure if I'm going to be continuing on with the series, but because I still may, I decided not to put them in here, and if I decide to stop that series, then I will film a part 2 of this video. Let me know down below a couple book series that you've decided not to continue on, and let me know if you agree or disagree with any of the series that I've discussed in this video, and I will see you next time in another video. Bye!